Hello, good morning. Welcome to the MLB Strategy Show right here on the Stokastic YouTube channel. Hey, good morning. What's going on, everybody? Glad to have you here. A little 10-game action today. Yo, SP2 is dicey as well. Just finished the perfect lineup video with Josh. That'll be out in like an hour. Check it out. Appreciate all you guys who have supported that. I think most of you have given pretty positive feedback on it, and you have a shot of winning a free week of Sims every single day of the week, 5 days of the week. Pretty good deal. But besides the point, we had a nice day yesterday. Top 5% lineup. Yeah, even with Crochet giving up a few runs, the strikeouts were there. And you know what? The old trusted George Kirby came through for us, baby. It's been a rough year. But we'll always play Mariners pitchers at home. Anyway, glad to have you guys here. Hopefully you're having a nice morning. Hopefully yesterday went well for you. We're coming up on 4th of July in just a few days. You guys got stuff going on? I'm not doing anything crazy. We're going to go to the pool. We're going to go to my brother-in-law's. He's going to barbecue, which is fine. But honest, nobody makes a burger as good as I do, so it's a problem. Call it conceited. I call it factual. Problem is, once you get a Blackstone, now you can talk charcoal grill, totally get it. Even gas grill, not good. You can make them good anywhere. But the double smash burgers on a Blackstone, lightly toasted bun with some onions underneath it on the flip, you'll never want to buy a burger again. It's a simple process, and you will never want to buy a burger again. You make some double smash on a Blackstone, I'm telling you. But anyway, doing that and then going to my other in-laws because they have a huge yard and we're going to play some baseball. That's right. Extract. Charcoal's hard to be. You know, it is though, but it's different, right? Like I'll make stuff on a charcoal grill, but then I'll make stuff on a Blackstone. Like cheesesteaks on a Blackstone are phenomenal, you know? I'll reverse sear a steak. You want to do a charcoal, you do Blackstone, whatever. Any type of cast iron. There's a lot of way. There's more than one way to skin a cat, you know? But I hope you guys have something good going on. Gonna eat some good food, possibly have some beverages and not drive home. But yeah, let's do it. We got a fun slate, 10 games. Pitching's rough at the bottom, but you know, the one thing that stood out to me, the moment I looked at it, I was like, oh, dude, you got DeGrom and you have Yamamoto. You have one of these guys in a tough matchup. You have one of these guys in a stellar matchup, but I knew it. I knew it going into it. I did the perfect lineup video without projections today before it was up because I had other stuff to do before I got into this show and I wanted to knock that out. I did the first half of it before we had projections. The second part they updated. But I went with our boy DeGrom. I just had a feeling looking at his props today, knowing that as good as Yamamoto is, and this is a great spot. You can't go wrong with either of these guys, genuinely. Like you can't really make the mistake between these two pitchers. Yamamoto against the White Sox, they have a lowly implied total on this slate. What's it sitting at? I'm just refreshing this. What are we at for, what's it like 3.2, 3.4, 3.3 for Baltimore? You can't go wrong, but the thing that stood out for DeGrom was, all right, he's $500 cheaper, getting a bit more ownership. I think that's going to flatten out throughout the day. I think that's going to draw closer to each other, if we're being honest. Essentially the same top two pitcher probability, but DeGrom has a slightly higher K prop, a slightly higher outs prop, and their earned runs prop is basically the same. So, yeah. I-40 films. Do you put ketchup and eggs on that smash? I do it different ways. Sometimes I'll make my own burger sauce. You can do the, you know, like the Grand Slam style burger with a fried egg. I'll put a burger. Dude, I'll give you one. I haven't done it on a smash burger. It's been a long time. But if you can find, and don't try and tell me this is gross. It's not. Everything goes well with a burger. If you can find good egg salad, throw some of that slop on top of a burger, man, I'm telling you, change your life. It's fantastic. Try it. Slap some egg salad on top of a burger. It's phenomenal. But yeah, Mark H says no ketchup on any burger. I'll do ketchup on a burger, mustard on a burger, honey mustard on a burger, barbecue sauce on any type of burger, blue cheese on a burger. You can do mayo. I'm not huge on mayo on a burger, but with a sauce, it works. Come on now. Of course you can put ketchup on a burger. And I'll put ketchup on eggs, but only omelets. Ketchup on an omelet's good. Hot sauce on scrambled, nothing on fried. John, ketchup on hot dogs is hearsay. No, it's not, man. Come on. Ketchup and mustard with some relish on a delicious ballpark dog? You're crazy. That's delicious. Delicious. But whatever. We can litigate the use of ketchup later. We got baseball to talk about. Also, how could I forget? If you guys don't mind, take a single second, atone for your sins this morning, and hit that thumbs up. 117 people watching, 17 thumbs up. Just a subtle reminder, if you forgot, no big deal. Tap that thumbs up, subscribe. It's free, both of them, subscribing and liking the video. And of course, if you're watching or listening after the fact, I appreciate you being here. And your comments down below don't go unnoticed. I'll tell you that much. All right. So here's the thing. DeGrom has a matchup. And I want to know, are you guys on, if you had to pick one, let's say just you can only pick one of these guys. I'll throw Holmes in there too, but I don't think many of you guys are going to pick that. Although against LA, it is a good spot. They have a 4.7 total here though. So I think, you know what, we'll leave him out in this spot. Also, some real potential weather in that game as well that doesn't really sit all that well with me. Would you guys go, if you could pick one, with everything we know right now, would you go Yamamoto against the White Sox or Jacob deGrom against Baltimore? Throw it in the chat. Don't even think about it. Just snap reaction. Who is it? For me, it's deGrom, but I'm not going to argue either side. I'm actually curious at the end of this show if we can build a positively simmed lineup out in the single lineup sim with Yamamoto and deGrom, taking up $21,000 in salary. That would be interesting. Because the SP2 spots today do not look good. They really don't. Matt, deGrom, yeah, Duckman, Yamamoto, Jack, deGrom, a lot of deGrom, some Yamamoto. But, Steven, it's a tough call, Yamamoto by a little. I get it. Look, the White Sox are dead last in ISO versus righties. They're 29th in weighted on base average and WRC+. Baltimore is top 3 in all of those categories this year against righties. Top 3 in all of them. So it doesn't exactly pose as a great matchup for deGrom, except the White Sox, believe it or not, have a bottom 7 strikeout rate on the year. Kind of more surprising than you'd think, right? You wouldn't necessarily think that as bad as they've been, that they can put the ball in play as well as they do. 19.9% K rate. Baltimore has the 6th highest K rate in the league. They just have significantly more power, 124 WRC+. But at the same time, deGrom has a sub 300 xWOBA against lefties and righties. 14+% swinging strike rate against lefties and righties. A healthy deGrom is arguably the best pitcher in the league. Yeah, you can talk about Skubal, Crochet, Wheeler, yet another dominant performance from Wheeler yesterday. So that's why I say arguably, right? Sale's been fantastic this season. There have been some amazing pitchers all year long, right? And I don't want to discredit any of them, not that they would care. But a healthy Jacob deGrom is, he is in the conversation as the best pitcher in the league. Had he never gotten hurt, I don't think we'd even be having a conversation. It would just be Jacob deGrom. Ram Dick fits pretty well in my lineup right now. Let's see what the later updates bring. Oh, my friend, are you going to be excited to see what the perfect lineup video that Josh and I did comes up with? Yep. If the dick fits, jam it, brother. That sounds like something that that YouTube would not be happy with. But we're talking Richard Fitz here. This is how bad SP2 is, though, honestly. It's bad. And if you guys, like, throw some names out there and we can talk about them. The problem is there's not a single one of these guys that you're going to go, man, that just feels good. That feels right. Emerson Hancock at 6K against Kansas City, fine. 4.3 total, no big deal. 3.5 strikeout prop. Good park, all of that stuff. Guy's been awful at home, despite the park upgrade that he gets every time he's back at T-Mobile. I think he's fine, but he doesn't do anything. Like, that is why it's going to gross you guys out. But is that real, Jake? Darren Waller to the Dolphins? No way. Get out of here. I have a dynasty team that everyone probably hates me. Even though I compete every year, I just never make moves and never trade. And when people send me offers, I typically don't respond to them. I'm one of those dicks. But it's not intentional. I just don't care enough. Now that you have DFS, it's very difficult. And I had Darren Waller, and I forgot to drop him for like forever. I still have him. I still have him. I don't have to pick him up. There you go. Darren Waller was so good before, the repeated injuries. The dynasty degens are obsessed with trades, and I ignore. Dude, that's the problem with dynasty. The concept is excellent, except people get so we play DFS. All of us play DFS. So that isn't to say that we're not still in some fantasy league, like some season-long leagues, right? Some redrafts. But with us being aware and enlightened by just the overall appeal of DFS, these people in dynasty leagues, their life depends on them getting into the playoffs and making a run. Whereas me, it's like, it's Thursday night, it's 7:50, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I forgot to set my lineup. Let me get a lineup in. And then I just set whatever I have. And if I remember to make a waiver wire bid, I will. But typically, I'm just picking up the scraps when everyone's in free agency. It's tough. We all know, though, like all of us know, if we're DFS players, it's so tough to get invested with that stuff anymore. You're like, oh, cool, I could win $1,000 at the end of the season. Or I could try to win $50,000 today. It doesn't compare. Honestly, I have nothing wrong with it. Like, I used to be that way with redrafts and dynasty. I used to be obsessed with them. But you kind of just, once DFS takes over, you can't prioritize it the same. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a prioritization thing. So, all right, back to pitchers. See, I told you, anyone mentions any relevant football topic, and I get wildly off track here. It's just the way it is. And yeah, Dame got waived. Dude, we might have to scrap the show. Are they just going to bring him back? Can they bring him back? I don't know how salary stuff works and that for basketball. I have no idea, honestly. One of you guys can explain it to me. But yeah, Richard Fitz, as we like to refer to him as, Dick Fitz. He's 5,500. He's not very good. But do we just punt? Like, do we just punt to Dick Fitz? I think there's going to be a lot of that today. It may be something that feels terrible, but he's 5,500 against Cincinnati. I went in and looked at his props, and I think you guys will probably find this as interesting as I did. So I go in, I pull up his props, and it turns out that his K prop is basically the same as guys who are more expensive than him today, right? It's 4.5 with no real juice on either side. So you're talking about guys like Lorenzen, you're talking about Emerson Hancock. A few of these guys similarly priced, Jeffrey Springs. And then I looked at his outs prop, and I think he was still at like 16.5. So what am I supposed to do when a guy's 5,500? And I know for a fact that's why the Sims are giving him to us as well. It's just a dirt cheap option. And, you kind of have to just follow the value here. I don't necessarily think there's any other spots that you're looking at, man. These are great. I don't love Shane Baz here against the Athletics. Also, have you guys seen, I don't want to read too much into this. Have you seen Shane Baz's home road splits this year? Again, I don't want to go overboard with it, but I did pull him up on FanGraphs today, and I was a little bit alarmed to see these home road splits. Clearly, this park plays far more favorably for hitters, and you're in Florida, so it's not like temperatures are just starting to warm up. They've been warm since the season started. They're always warm. You've got significant weather issues in this game as well. Could get rained out or at least delayed. 83 degrees, slight winds blowing out. Not a huge deal there. But I don't know if I want to pay $8,800 in this spot. 331 WOBA allowed at home. It's pretty ridiculous. 1.5 home runs per 9 at home. 13% K minus BB at home. 4.21 xFIP. 4.6 FIP. I don't love it. 1.42 whip. I don't love it. You know the guy that I keep trying to justify here? The one guy I keep coming back to, and I'm really trying to justify getting there. Yeah, Eric, Burns and Lopez cost me. How many pitchers were even good yesterday? I was so close to going with Lopez in the perfect lineup video. Ended up going with Crochet and with Kirby, which worked out well. But I was very close to going to some of those other guys. Most of them just weren't good. But can we talk about Zach Gallen? His fastball's just not been as good this year, and that's a real problem. Because with Gallen, you need that when he's a guy that literally throws his fastball 50% of the time. If you're throwing your fastball 50% of the time and it's not working the way it once did, that is a problem. Like this guy, dude, his whiff percentage, and it's a four-seamer. You're not expecting it to be, because you know his changeup, curve, he throws a bunch of pitches. He has a bunch of put-away pitches. But because the fastball has seen such a decrease in quality this year, what's happening is all of his other pitches are just dragging him down. And now he's getting behind in counts. But I still want to get to some Zach Gallen. I still want to get to Zach Gallen. Because where else are we going? And I know we're not getting much of him in the Sims right now, but I think 7,800 against San Francisco, knowing that this guy is actually a decent enough pitcher, I think 7,800 is fine. Fine. Maurice, brother, just got into baseball because of DFS. Can you please tell me what boba means? I assume you mean WOBA, right? You probably mean WOBA. Weighted on base average. It's a better way, put it this way. It's taking all of their offensive production and trying to measure it within one stat, instead of just on base percentage or just batting average. A lot of that stuff can be misleading. Plus, from a DFS perspective, it's helpful to know about really any way a guy can produce to get on base, because everything gives us points, right? It's the same thing like if you look at pitching, a guy might have a 5 ERA, but you're like, oh, he has a 29% K rate. Because it's DFS, that K rate gives us a little bit more a little bit more wiggle room than it would if this is a 5 ERA guy with a 15% K rate. Then he's just terrible and we stay away from him. So yeah, I assume you mean WOBA, weighted on base average. If you go to a site like FanGraphs, Maurice, Baseball Savant is another really good one. I still use Brooks Baseball to dig into some of these pitchers. There's so many good ones. I used to use Baseball Prospectus a lot. Is that still a good one? I haven't used that. You know what I used to use that for? I loved it for seeing how batteries did against runners and how they had some amazing stats for the pitcher catcher batteries to see how they did it throwing runners out. I should start using that again. Actually makes a difference for DFS when you have some good stolen base guys. Yeah, all good, man. All good. Hey, appreciate you, dude. Yeah, so I guess, Maurice, you've been around for football, right? But anyway, talk to me, fellas. I'm going to list these guys. I'm going to list them off. And then we'll get to Grant Holmes because I think he's an interesting one. But talk to me here. Outside of DeGrom and Yamamoto, do whatever you want there. I'm getting more DeGrom, but if we get both, great. And we're going to build a lineup out. See if we can build a DeGrom Yamamoto single lineup, sim lineup, and make it positive. I don't know if we can, but we're going to try. Fitz. Boyd is 9K against Cleveland. Shane Baz is almost 9K against the Athletics. I already expressed my concerns there. Hancock 6K. Freddie Peralta is 9,300 against the Mets. I know the Mets have been bad. I get it. Mets have been bad, but you're still only Freddie Peralta. I mean, at that point, why am I not just paying for DeGrom and Yamamoto at that point? I like Peralta. The ceiling simply hasn't been there this year. Not like other pitchers, you know? I think Springs is fine. Springs to me at 6,800 is someone I'd be okay with. Gallen I'm okay with. Lorenzen I don't mind getting a little bit of. But really, right now, the Sims are just jamming the expensive options and pairing them with old Dick Fitz. I think I'd probably be inclined. This is just me. You do what you want if you're using the Sims or any of the tools. I think I'd be inclined to bring Fitz down a little bit and see what happens if we just, kind of smooth exposure out to some of these other cheaper options. As much as I trust the Sims, because I know they're giving me the best possible chance to win a tournament every single day, I don't mind reducing the volatility a little bit here and grabbing like 25% fits, even 30% fits. 30% I'd be okay with. And then see if we can get a little bit more of some of those other discounted options in that 6 and 7K range. Few of you guys like Boyd, huh? Yeah, I'm okay with it. The only thing I don't love about Matt Boyd today is the fact that he's 9K and DeGrom is 10-3. And Holmes against this Angels team that has a higher K rate in baseball than any other team against righties. If weather holds out there, Angels are now third on the active roster. The Rockies are far and away worse than everybody else by 4%, which is preposterous. But the Angels still, they strike out a lot against righties. And a 101 WRC plus sits them 23rd in baseball alongside this same Cleveland team that's going up. I shouldn't even mention Cleveland because they've got a lefty in Boyd today. But Boyd's good. Outside, who rocked him recently? Was it the Phillies? Was it the Phillies that crushed him? No, it was he didn't get rocked. He had 0 strikeouts in that game. You remember that earlier this month? 6 innings, 1 earned, 0 strikeouts for Matt Boyd. Incredible. 1 earned run and finished with 5 fantasy points. No strikeouts. It's crazy. But on the year, you've got 22.3% K rate. That's fine. We've actually seen it trend down lately, too. We've seen his K rate trend over the last month. Look at it. 0, 3, 6, 3. And not against teams that don't strike out either. Okay, so I'll give you my thoughts here. I'm willing to entertain it. And I think he's fine. against the Cleveland team this year, against lefties, they're underwhelming to say the least. Bottom 5 WRC plus, 113 ISO is abysmal. That's bottom 4. 22.6% K rate sounds really high, right? But against lefties, K rates always trend higher for these teams. 22.6, that's 16th in the league. The reason I keep coming back to Holmes here at let's call it a comparable price point, you're only talking about a $700 difference, is I actually like this matchup a little bit better for Holmes if the weather holds out, because he has a don't look now, but Grant Holmes has a 27% K rate this year, 27% strikeout rate, 13% swinging strike rate, 13% swinging strike rate, which is, I don't know if anybody would have really anticipated this. And then you look at a spot like this and you go, all right, well, what about righties? Oh, 32.2% K rate against righties. 32.2, 314 xFIP. And then if you start talking about this Angels team, how many righties are they going to have in the lineup today? 7? Right? Neto, Trout, Ward, Soler, Logan O'Hoppe, Joe Adell, Christian Moore. They're probably going to have 6 or 7 righties in the lineup today. AJ Worse, Dick Fitz stinks. He gets shelled by the Reds tonight. Yeah, dude, so does everyone else on this slate, except they're more expensive. Dalton, Cleveland can't hit any lefty. Yeah, I hear you. And I think Boyd looks decent in this spot. But I'll take the guy with a 32% K rate against righties against a righty-heavy Angels team if that weather does not become an issue later in the day. If you tell me that Grant Holmes has a matchup against 6 or 7 righties, I simply don't see any way you're going to get me not to play him. Actually, I might end up manually boosting Holmes in a spot like that. To me, the lineup matters. And this team running out a ton of same-handed bats, albeit plenty of them with power. I'm not taking that away from them, but it doesn't eliminate the strikeouts there. O'Hoppe, 35% K rate versus righties. Moore, 31. Neto, 26. Trout, 25. Ward, 25. Adell, 24. That's crazy. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lefties with righties with 24+% K rates against righties this year, all of whom have at least 180 plate appearances. My fault, 199. The more I look at it, the more this spot looks good. So, yeah. Man, I might, you know what? Maybe I try going with like a DeGrom Holmes build. Oh, sweet. We are getting 24% Holmes in the Sims. Solid. What's the top pitchers tool say? Let me refresh this in case we had an update. Yeah, the more I look at Holmes, the more I like him. He's going to end up being the death of me today, but I think it's a great spot. I like him over Boyd. The more I look at him at his price, I might like him over everybody. Yeah, he wasn't projected earlier in the day to pitch. It was, I forget the other guy's name. But yeah, I'm probably on board here. All right, here you go in the tools. 18% top 2 pitcher probability. 17. So no real leverage. I mean, he's getting owned at the same that he should be a top 2 pitcher today. But I like him. So I'll give you, right now, I'd say DeGrom, and Yamamoto up top for obvious reasons, one of those guys. Then Grant Holmes is going to be my number 3. You could argue my number 2. Probably Boyd after that. And then you're just getting into the basement here. It's gross. Springs, Dick Fitz, Hancock. I don't want to go to Anderson in this spot. I don't want Brandon Young here. Shane Smith against the Dodgers. No, thank you. Chase Dollander. No. Clay Holmes, as much as I love this guy's stuff, he just hasn't been missing bats. I'll get some Zach Gallen, I think. I don't love Baz. I don't love that price point on Peralta. I'd rather get to Holmes. Brady Singer against the Boston team with a 5-3 total. You know what's going to end up happening? I'll tell you right now, 7K Colton Gordon is going to end up just having an elite game at Coors. I honestly may boost Colton Gordon today too. We're getting none of him right now. And, one of the reasons for that, I looked at his props. They're not good. It's like a 3.5 earned run prop. But maybe you guys will agree with me here. It feels like all year long, we've kind of gone against the props. And this isn't to say we're outsmarting anybody, but in a way, it is saying that it feels like there still hasn't been a full adjustment to this court, to how bad the Rockies are. And what I mean is, we know they're bad. But I don't know how many times I've said this, but we continuously lump them in the same bucket as all of these other bad teams when they are fully by themselves, right? They're on an island by themselves. They're arguably not a major league team. They aren't really. And you continue to see pitchers get underpriced at Coors against the Rockies. You keep seeing these totals for a Rockies team higher than they probably should be, even though the Rockies are as bad as you could possibly get. So you know what? I don't think Colton Gordon should just be ignored. He has positive leverage. He's top 6 or so, top 7 or whatever in our top 2 value. He's only getting 6% ownership. I honestly may just consider it. Trying to see something here on Colton Gordon. By the way, I always tell you guys to watch the perfect lineup video that Josh and I do. Comes out early afternoon every day. And your support, by the way, has been awesome and appreciated. And I think all of you guys have enjoyed it. And hopefully it helps. And hopefully some of you are getting those free weeks of The Sims. So check that out. It's like 6-7 minutes every day. You can do whatever you want. Watch that and get back to your regularly scheduled programming or back to life. But you should also check out our boy Emacs' free article. He does an awesome job every day. Highly recommend it. Consume the content you can. And this one is easy to digest, in and out, good content, and it's free. Emac just posted it in chat right now. So check that out if you haven't. All right. Are any of you guys willing to get to some Colton Gordon with me, or am I flying solo here? Nah, fuck it. I'm going to do it. The guy has a 22% K rate, sub 3% walk rate on the year. That's good. Single digit barrel rate. Whenever you hear me say single digit barrel rate, that means it's close to 10, but it's not quite 10. If it's real good, I'm going to be like, wow, 5% barrel rate. When it's 9.3 like Colton Gordon, we say single digit to make it sound better. So you can massage things however you want. Except I try and be open about it. 9% swinging strike rate. Nothing that looks great. But the Rockies are so bad that it may not matter. Let's see the Rockies stats at home this year, shall we? Let's see where the Rockies rank at home this year. I'm sure they've been fantastic. All right, so let's go. Active roster, Colorado Rockies, WRC plus. They've got to be top 10. It's a great park. Oh, 29th. All right, WOBA, top half, right? Yeah, 12th, which doesn't really matter. 180 ISO, 9th. But here it comes. 25.2% K rate, tied with the Angels for the highest strikeout rate in the league at home. Yep. They still stink. So I think Colton Gordon should at least be in consideration. All right. Roger, fade the top and roll with Holmes and Gordon. You could. I honestly don't even think that's crazy, man. I know that Gordon, to me, is probably going to be someone that no one wants to play today because it's still Coors, and it's different than playing a good underpriced pitcher at Coors Field. You know, Colton Gordon is still an unknown. He's pitched 40 major league innings. I get all that. But a lot of these underlying numbers actually look good. You know, good command, not walking batters, 3.47 xFIP. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you like, oh, this guy's great, man. You know, that's obviously not what I'm trying to do. He's not a ground ball pitcher. That's not going to work well. It's his first ever start in Coors. A lot of things could go wrong, but a lot of things could go wrong for Jeffrey Springs at Steinbrenner Field, Zach Gallen, who's been terrible all year, Dick Fitz, Emerson Hancock, Shane Baz, Brandon Young, Michael Lorenzen. A lot of things could go wrong for all of these guys. So I'd be remiss at not at least talk about all of them, and you guys can make the call on your own. But to me, I think Colton Gordon looks pretty good. All things considered, right? Look at the top two pitcher probabilities in the top pitchers tool. You know, you have all these expensive guys, not including Gallen, like all these 88 and up guys. And then who we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have 10 guys in between 5 and 10 top two pitcher probability, and multiple of them are above 8K. So like Holmes, Gavin Williams, and Singer, they look worse than the other guys at their price point with the way they're projected. So yeah. And by the way, you guys ever want to check these tools out, you know what to do. Simply DM me. Hey, Laffy on Twitter, Laffy_Diva. My handle's right there. Can I do this? Let's see. It's very difficult when it's mirrored. There it is, the wrong way. Hit me up. Say, yo, I was watching the show. Can I get those tools? Can I get the promo to get the discount? I got a discount promo for a week or for a month, whichever one you want, of the Sims. Or you can just say, screw it. I'm going to bypass everything. I'm going to go in here, link in the description where it says sign up with any of our sportsbook partners, get the Sims free. Literally just choose one of our promos below for any sportsbook or pick'em site. If you're in a non-legal betting state, this is all you do. Click claim offer on any of them. Each one of these clicks equals a free month of Sims. Every one of these clicks with no limits. You can max everyone out if you're not on there yet. Everyone equals a free month of Sims. Sign up, make a deposit. It's usually $5 or $10 max. After you make that deposit, simply place a bet, or if you're on a pick'em site, set a lineup. Once that settles, all you got to do, and you're in, email us, support@stokastic.com with a screenshot of your first settled bet or lineup and your welcome email from said book or pick'em site, and say what sport you want. So if you were like, you know what, dude, I'm just going to max this out, or I'm going to get through it. I'm going to sign up on Caesars, Fanatics, and Chalkboard. That's, I believe, a $5 deposit, 10 and 5, $25 plus the bonus bets or no sweat offers. Plus you could win your bets, plus the match deposit bonuses on Chalkboard. So technically you're already coming out on top before you get the months, and 3 months of Sims, which is $360 value. See where I'm going with this? Easiest way to do it. Or like I said, shoot your boy a DM if you want a discount code. It'll get you in that way as well. But link for that is in the description. All right, stack time, baby. Oh, and of course, shout out to our winners from over the weekend. These guys with the tools crushing the Minimax. Crushing it. Minimax, first place. Vela, Minimax, first place. Dubs Minimax, first place. NASCAR Minimax for Luis Daniel Aponte, split first place. These tools don't just work. Actually, I was going to say for the big contest, they work even better for the Minimax. Imagine having that type of edge and you're getting them for $5 or $10 or with the discount code. How many people are in there using these sims and winning with them in smaller field contests where now you're legitimately finding an edge that you never had before in a contest format that is not meant for these type of tools, but we're using them anyway. So shout out to you guys, all the winners. If you're in chat, congrats. Stack exposures. Houston, all right, against Colorado. Where does Houston rank for us in top value today within the top stacks tool? Last, bottom 5? Let's see. No. Wait, how cheap? I haven't even looked. How cheap, have you guys looked? Are the Astros on DraftKings? How cheap are this Astros team? No way. You've got to be kidding me. All right, so first of all, Jeremy Pena is on the IL. We know that. We know that Jordan Alvarez is on the IL. When's he coming back? I saw that he was hitting off a tee not long ago. Oh, next week he could be back, but he's not back yet. All right, so Alvarez is out. We know that. We know that Pena is out. So you're telling me that Jose Altuve at 5K is the most expensive player? Paredes is 4,800, Myers 44, Diaz 43, Smith 42, Walker 41. No way. That's nuts. They got to be the highest owned stack. Yeah. But 13% is not even that crazy for a 10-game slate. 18% top stack probability, 15% stack score. We actually have them positively leveraged right now. Man, I knew they'd be a little bit more a little bit cheaper with those guys on the IL. I did not anticipate it being that cheap. And you have a guy in Dollander who, you know, whether he's going to be good or not, these guys get thrown straight into the fire pitching at Coors Field. They get 0 run support day after day. It's a miserable existence. But at home this year, Chase Dollander inside of Coors Field. Where'd it go? Hold on. Here we go. 398 WOBA against. That's not good. 2.02 home runs per 9. No, 273. I'm sorry. 15% K rate, 5% K minus BB. It appears he's actually been a little bit unlucky. 485 xFIP, but a 708 FIP. 33% fly ball rate. So he's done a decent job of keeping the ball on the ground. Yeah, at this point, Houston's just got to kind of become Got to become a top option here. 6.7 run implied total. And Steven, yeah, I know that no Pena and Alvarez brings it down, but Alvarez has been out a while. You'd still expect DraftKings to adjust these prices accordingly. You guys remember, we've had slates, particularly like last year and stuff, previous years, where you'd have like an 8-hole hitter that's no good at all, having a terrible season, and he's 5K because he's in Coors, right? Like you'd have a platoon Jason Hayward at 5,300 batting 8th. So yeah, I'd be lying to you if I told you I wasn't a little bit surprised that against the cheapest pitcher on the slate in the best park around, that Houston's carrying those price points. 83 degrees, winds blowing out to right center at 10 miles per hour. All right, that's fun. Boston against Brady Singer, we're getting a good amount of. We're getting a lot of Houston, though. 40% Houston, 41%. Angels, we're getting a decent amount of, or I'm sorry, Atlanta against Anderson, Cincinnati, some of them against the old Dick Fitz. Here's something, you guys know we can do this, but if you're new here or you're just new to the tools, trying them out right now, and you just signed up, if you want to see your 3, 4, and 5-man exposures combined, go to lineups, go to exposure caps, and go to stack exposures. Now you can see 41% around Houston, 28% Boston, 22% Atlanta. Those are the 3 teams we're getting the most of today. I don't hate that at all. At all. As a matter of fact, I quite like it. Some of these, we're not getting a lot of Colorado. Another reason Colton Gordon might be viable for us. Obviously, the Dodgers are always in play here. We're not getting a ton of them, though. Not a lot of White Sox for obvious reasons against Yamamoto. No Mets, Athletics, Cubs, Baltimore, Angels. Makes sense. Individual player exposures, let's see. Jarren Duran, Marcelo Zuna, Ronald Acuna, Jake Myers, Jake McCarthy, Shohei Ohtani, those guys 20+%. Boston to Atlanta, Houston, Arizona, Dodgers. Corey Seager, 30%. Bobby Witt. Mauricio Dubon. Interesting. Not everything's really spread out at shortstop. So where are the Houston players we're getting? There you go. Isaac Paredes, 34%. Abraham Toro, for Boston, 24%. But still, we've got to be getting more big. Okay, 25% Altuve, 31% Hamilton for Boston. Christian Walker, 30%. Yep. Diaz, right? Yeah. 29% Diaz. 23% Caratini. So a lot of our so you've got what, 52.5% of our catcher spots are going to be occupied by Houston backstops, and then Sean Murphy at 20%. So you're talking almost 75% of our lineups are Houston, Atlanta at catcher. Makes sense to me. Any home runs popping for us today before we go? Highly suggest you check out Portfolio EV as well for a week. It's free. Links in the description. I think you will genuinely love it. Build your portfolios out. Doesn't take much time at all. At all. Find good lineups or find good bets, bet them. Braxton Fulford today against Colton Gordon. Wow. I would smash this right now. Forget everything we said about Gordon. If we know that we're getting a plus EV spot where the likelihood of this bet winning is better than the odds that were being given by the sports books, I actually want to bet this right now as well. And I think they have a no sweat bet. No sweat home run bet on DraftKings today. We have the true odds at plus 610. FanDuel's a pretty sharp homer book, really book in general, plus 540. Some of these other books are nowhere close. 487, 500, 500. And of course, if you wanted to mass enter all of these DraftKings bets, look, 19 bets on the board for DraftKings right now. Click place bets. And you know what happens? It loads all of them directly into your bet slip. And then I just flat bet them. Just flat bet them. Boom. One click. Done. Takes you 30 seconds to get that many bets in. Now consider that with a large sample grinding out small edges every single day. What a difference that makes. BetMGM, you got 5 on the board right now. But I want to bet this Braxton Fulford, and then we'll see if there's anything else we can grab here. just seeing that this is up, eventually that moves. It's been on the board for quite some time, but for home run props on DraftKings, I typically don't worry about that. We're talking a plus 650 spot here. A lot of other books have way shorter odds. All right, I am locked in. Do we have any promos today? No sweat MLB bet. There you go. Get your money back if it loses. MLB 30% parlay. Any 4+ leg MLB parlay. Any other homers here? Ooh, Jose Altuve. If you're on BetMGM, you got him against Chase Dollander today. Usually you don't get plus EV home runs in these type of spots. It's usually tougher matchups. It's just the way it is. Plus 470 on FanDuel, rebet plus 450. Sharp book like Circa plus 520. Yeah, okay. You are on an island. Oh, and this has only been up for 2 minutes. There's no way they don't move this. Plus 650. We have True Odds plus 615. Hammer that if you're on BetMGM. Or just try this out for a week, guys. Link down there. You can use it yourself. I have it set up my way where I know I'm getting historically profitable bets. Sanchez under 4.5 Ks against San Diego. I like that spot quite a bit on DraftKings too. I like that. It auto refreshes. Oh yeah, look, they're on an island. You can also go ahead and set your bankroll, and then all of your bets, if you wanted to use Kelly criteria would be recommended. I have mine in as flat betting right now, but you can use recommended bet size for every bet. Recommended different bet size. Very cool stuff. Let's see. Any other pitcher props for us? Braxton Young earned runs under 2.5, minus 130 on Fanatics. There's another one for you. Yeah, all right. Edward Cabrera, that's a 640 game, under 2.5 earned runs as well. Onyx on an island here with NoVig and Fanatics. So yeah, anyway, appreciate it, guys. Have a great rest of the day. We will catch you back here tomorrow for the day slate. It's a 3-game slate, and I think it starts at noon. So make sure to mark it in your calendars. We will be hanging out same time, except in this spot, it'll be live before lock. And remember, live before lock for tonight's slate, those guys will take you all the way up to first pitch. So enjoy the rest of the day. Have a great one. Let's win some money. Rock the Stokastic avatar so you can get in the Hall of Fame. Don't be silly. Make sure to give yourself even more money after winning money. There's no better way to do it. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.